Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I have with me Lenovo Thinkpad X13. Now, the Gen 1 of course, not another version. So basically, before starting out, I want to talk about the X series. I think about, let's say, 6 years ago, maybe around a little bit more than that. I'm talking about the X210 up to the 280. I mean, up to the X260, those were the days where the X series was shining. And what I mean about shining, I meant like every office employee had either this one or one of the T60s, T460s, T60. And those were the days where you were an office employee coming to the office every day and you wanted a small type of device, and that's just 13 inch type of device. Those were the days where this laptop shined. You could see many people coming with them, working with them. They had their own docking station. It was plenty fun. Nowadays, it's less likely to see those type of devices because there is either way you're taking the T series, again the T14 Gen whatever, or you might even go harder, or maybe say extreme, with the X1 Carbon, but it'll cost you extra. So nowadays less and less people are searching for this type of devices, but they're cool. So let's talk about how it looks and what are the ports that this device is offering. So let's start from the right side. So over here we have, sorry, the light isn't the greatest right now because it's night. Kensington lock, USB. Over here you can see the fan, and this one is for smart card reader. So basically this is being used by the higher firms like offices. They're using security keys. That's mainly what it's being used for. I saw some people let's say using their smart cards, like let's say they wanted to add money for their traveling card, like let's say buses and stuff like that, so they basically can do it and connect the card over here. It's amazing. I never saw it on person, but I know it's working nowadays, and not just offices. On the back we have, yes, SIM port, which means that this device can be used outside the office. Let's say you are on a vacation or you want to have like network everywhere, then you just put in your SIM, and it supports up to 4G if I can remember correctly, which is quite nice. Not 5G, but this device, if you can recall, is almost 3 years old. It's 2.5, so yeah, nice. On the left we have USB Type-C, another USB Type-C, and this connector, which I think you can hardly see on the video, but it's basically being used for the network. If you see it really tiny, you can see network connection. That's a port that Lenovo used to work with, but they're no more longer supporting it, or at least they're not showing it on their devices anymore. We have another USB, full HDMI, and an aux for your earbuds. But I want to come back to this part again for just a second. So for about, I think, let's say 3 generations, this whole part was being used for mechanical docking stations. Now, mechanical docking stations, I'll add a picture to the info of the information of this video. But basically, docking station that's just being plugged in using all of these 3 ports, blocking every part. I guess up here, so you can use any of those ports, but you basically get a lot of ports other than that. So that's what being used for this device. Weight-wise, this device weighs 0.2 grams, which 200 grams, which means it's kind of on the light side, but I'm feeling like it feels more like 1.5 kilos. So I don't know, maybe it's something to do with, hell knows, maybe it's the battery, I don't know, but it does not feel like it's really light. On the back we can see the full name of the device, which is X13 Gen 1, magnesium chassis, of course, everything is magnesium by Lenovo. And if you can see, there are just a few ports, or maybe something that's not right on the back, right? So this is one, and these two. So again, as I said before, on those generations, this part and these two were used for docking stations. So you can basically ignore them. But for what I know, that they're also being used for water drains. So if, let's say, you spilled some coffee on your keyboard or something like that, it would get out of this part. If you get really closely, you can see it's actually moving inside. We can also see that there is just one fan, not the biggest fan, but yeah, this device is for an office use. So let's say you're not working on this device other than Outlook, or maybe, I don't know, basic stuff like that. Which, by the way, if we are looking at the bottom of the device, we can see that on this version, the speakers are on the bottom. Now, if you're wondering what this sticker is, it's just to hide the serial number of the device. The owner just doesn't want us to show him the serial. So let's open up the device and let's talk about it a little bit. So here it is with its tiny screen. I mean, it's not the tiniest. I saw a little bit tinier devices than that, but just that the chin that we've all got used to during the years, and because nowadays all of these parts, both of those and a little bit of more than that, you see just screen and not any of those stupid plastics. So it's really cool. As you can see, it has fingerprint reader in it, and it also has iris scanner, which means it just can log in with your eyes and recognize your face. But the fingerprint on this device, which again, kind of different than today's, which usually today's, the fingerprints are on the top here, and some of them are either way on the start button or next to that. But on this one, it's over here, and it's really small. When I first saw those type of fingerprint readers, I thought, well, it's too small. But because the device is small, with this one, it just fits right in. So well, let's see how fast it responds to my finger. You see, it's really fast, and I really like the idea that Lenovo made this fingerprint so well, good. So about the keyboard, so the keyboard is a little bit smaller than usual keyboards. It's also one of the latest devices that came with smiling keyboards that we love so much about Lenovo, and nowadays they just are changing it to the new version, which are a little bit shorter and, well, you know the ThinkPad feeling, and this one have this feeling. So let's see how it types, right? So let's say I'm writing hello world, my name is Long Rhino. You see, even though the keyboard is really small and cramped, and those keys are something that you should get really used to, and they're even smaller than my finger, it's something that I can deal with. It also comes with light, backlight, and it also comes with the nipple, which we all do love. And I also almost forgot about screen. So basically, the screen again is 13 inches, which is quite small, but again, something you can deal with daily. And it also means, because it's small, then less power consumption is, energy consumption there is. So the screen is full HD on this one. It does not come with touch option, but there are touch options. But it probably, if I guess correctly, comes either way with 4K or 2.5K, which consumes more energy. But this one is just small without touch screen. It's full HD, as you can see. Let me zoom just a little bit. And it has 60 Hz, 0.3, which makes it a little bit extra smoother. But lately, I don't know why, screens are coming with 59.96, and it makes a lot of difference, but never mind. There is no external hard drive for this, external graphics card, the GPU. It comes just with the onboard Intel, and it does its job for basic tasks and office tasks. And now for the trackpad. So again, the trackpad is not small. I mean, again, nowadays we are seeing more and more devices that are coming with such huge trackpads, but I think that it's really not necessary. And this one, you can feel like it just fits in, and it feels good. It's really precise. I know that the zoom isn't the best, but yeah, the focus isn't the best, but because it's triggered on the hand, but never mind. It's just really good. It feels good. It touches good. It does not give weird sounds, and the gestures are just fine. It does its work, and really like it. So yeah, good trackpad and good keyboard and good screen. Yeah. Now since I said the GPU and stuff like that, so let's go to the technical stuff. So this device version comes with an i7 10510U, which makes it just really energy efficient CPU, and it's also on days where we had 4 cores and 8 threads. Yeah, so it just means that this device is good. It supports Windows 11, as you can see. The whole OS is 11, and it just feels good. About the memory, if I could click on it, we have 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4 of course. There are 2 DIMMs, which each one of them is 8 gigs, and nowadays every device that has 8 gigs or less, it just becomes obsolete. And because it has 16, it's just fine, and again, basic stuff, it's fine with it. SSD, there is the Western Digital SN730, 512 gigs of storage, which is quite good. We'll benchmark it in a second. The Wi-Fi, there is the X201, the 160 megahertz. It's fine. It's nothing too different between the 6 and double 10 and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit more reliable, but it's still Wi-Fi 6, so it makes the whole experience pretty good. The GPU, if I could click on it like a normal person, is the Intel UHD graphics. I'm not sure about the version. Let me check it for a second. So I couldn't find anywhere on the device which version of the UHD graphics it is, but thanks to Google, I know that it's 620, which is on the lower side of graphics cards, or maybe the onboard graphics cards. But for the YouTube and the stuff that it was meant to do, it should be fine. Let's benchmark the whole stuff. And now for the nerdy part. So let's benchmark the SSD and see what results we are getting, shall we? I'll be back once it's finished. And we're back with the results. So the read speeds are 3300, or maybe I should just say 3400, which is quite nice. The read writes are 26, or maybe should I say 2700, which is kind of respectable for this kind of device. I mean, it was never meant to be a high-end device. It was never meant to be something except again from being office usage, but as you can see, the numbers are quite nice. Today we can see devices with 7500. The normal devices are about 600, something like that. So it's fine. It should be fine, and those reads are good, and they are averaged in today's numbers. So yeah, cool numbers. And now for the CPU benchmark. I'll first run it without a charger. Sorry, first I run it with a charger. We'll see the results, and then I'll do it again without a charger. So let it run, and I'll be back once it's finished. And we're back with the results. So the single core score is 1225, and multi-core is 3618, which is kind of nice. I saw, even today I'm still seeing devices that can barely reach to these kind of numbers. So yeah. So anyways, let me show you the rest of the numbers, and we'll go to again the same test, but next time without a charger, and we'll see how the Intel i7 manages to reach numbers without charger. And again, CPU benchmark, but right now without the charger, and it's going to be left out through the whole test. Now run it and let you know what are the numbers when it's finished. Now while this is running, I want to talk about a little bit about the fan's sound and how hard it is. So let me give you a test of how the fan hears like, being heard like. So you basically cannot hear the fan. I mean, you can if you really get close by to it, but yeah, it's not the loudest. And about the heat, so the whole keyboard feels nice. The middle part feels a little bit warmer, but really the hottest part is really here. It's really hot to the touch, but because it's have very small fan, or relatively small fan, and not a lot of exhaust, it just feels a little bit hot, and that's okay. And we're back with the numbers. So the single core score got slashed almost in half with 794 in score, and the multi-core score still really up there with 3,441 points. Really nice for the multi-core, not so good for the single core. And now for the GPU benchmarks, I'll run them with OpenCL, and sorry, just because the screen is really small, if you're doing like those resolution, let me show you, if you make the resolution a little bit bigger or smaller on this device, it really makes a huge change. So because I changed it from 150 to 125, now I can see everything. Because it was on 150, I couldn't see, I wasn't able to click on the compute benchmark. So again, let's run the GPU benchmark. As you can see, it's with the charger. I'll first run the OpenCL, and then I'll do the Vulkan. So let's do the test, and I'll be back once it's done. And we're back again, and now for the OpenCL GPU benchmarks. So right now, the score that it got is 5,810, which is really low, because I think the 11th gen with this one is 10th generation with the CPUs. I mean, the 11th gen got, if I remember correctly, the 11G whatever version gets triple the number or double the number or something like that. So it isn't the best, but yeah, that's what we have. So let's see the rest of the numbers. And now for the Vulkan HD graphics GPU benchmarks. Let it run, and I'll be back once it's finished. And we're back with the Vulkan numbers. It's 6,361. Again, nice numbers for its year. Let me show you the rest of the numbers, and we'll go to the last test, which I forgot to do before those. So even though I forgot to do the sound test, I would love to show you and let you hear how it sounds. So the next sound is Hip Jazz by Benjamin Tissot from bandsound.com, and I really love this song. So let's hear it out, and I'll show you how it looks on the other sides as well. So, as we've heard, the speakers are good on this device. They're not the best, they're not, you know, Mac level, but they're good. Now, what's good with this device is, again, that the speakers are down-facing, which means a little bit more bass, a little bit more sound, a little bit more clearer. I don't like that the latest devices today are coming with the speakers upwards. So I guess that was it for the Lenovo X13 Gen 1. Now, this device costs around, I would say, $600 today's numbers. When it was new, it was about $2,000, which means it lost a lot of money during the years, but that's okay. Mostly this device is good. It has a lot of qualities. It's not slow. It's really small wise. Yeah, the screen is not like full screen because of the bezels, but we can live with that. The keyboard is good. The speakers is fine. It has fingerprint recognizer. It has a SIM as well, SIM tray, which is not really common today. I mean, it can be common, but you have to pay extra for that. Do I recommend this device? Yeah, if you need a device that does everything for fairly cheap, it's a really good option, but get it before the warranty ends, which is in about 6 months from today. So thank you for watching, and thank you for seeing all the videos. And if you like my videos, please subscribe and let me know if you have any questions about the device. I would love to answer you. Battery wise, the owner says that the battery lasts for about 6 hours. So really nice. It's really nice, because the days we don't get these kind of numbers if we go with normal devices. If you go for the extra ones, you can get up to 10 hours. So thank you, and I'll see you with another video.